Well, today here we are, live, finally, and I've got Liahra here with me. I thought I heard a little bit of feedback. Do you have yours muted, or did I accidentally not mute one of mine?
Not muted.
You're not muted, so it is coming through your computer?
No, 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 I'm fine. I can't hear any feedback.
Okay. Well, no, I just heard some of the intro playing, but normally I hear it a little louder if it's mine. So I hope I muted everything because I can't go back in there. As we were just discussing that when I do this layout, the computer is completely tied up, but I do like the layout of us being side by side, so everybody in the chat can see us both. So, what's been going on with you lately?
Oh, where do I start? Since the Lionsgate with 8-8, I've been gridding from the northwest, flew down to Southampton, been gridding the south coast, Dorset and Devon, Christchurch, Charmouth, Bournemouth, Beer, Lyme Regis. It's been a lot of hard work, and I finished on Sunday. Until the next one.
Sorry about that sound, guys. I have to move my boom. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of your videos of some really amazing places that you've been to, and I mean they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You're so
It's
lucky, and you travel
yeah,
so much. Wow.
yeah. I couldn't do it without all my Patreons that have helped me, like petrol and car park fees, and obviously we've got to fund that from somewhere. And the universe sort of provides as well for flights. And I'm staying with my daughter, Sophie. She's just hoovered, and I've told her to stay out the room for a bit. And if she's listening, hi, Sophia. So yeah, everything's on Patreon. I'll put it there unedited first, but because of the music on the radio, I've had a few copyright warnings, not strikes, but warnings. So
Mm.
before I can make them public on YouTube, they'll stay on my Patreon for a couple of weeks, unedited, with all our chat in the car,
Hmm.
talking about the places. But then when it goes on to YouTube, I'll obviously have just put music to it. So if you see all my videos and the music, it's because the interesting chat has been already listened to on Patreon. It's just we talk about Q on the way, we talk about interesting things to do with the mounds we're going past, and obviously
And they don't
Kit,
like that. I mean, I'll tell you what, you can't even listen to the radio or have your television playing in the background or anything because they will get your bottom on that stuff. They're
so if you want
picky.
to hear everything, go on to Patreon. I've made them all for $5 plus for everybody who's not on Patreon, and I'll put them there unedited. So if you put your headphones in, you can listen to our chat as we're talking and pointing out things. We had a little rainbow crystal child in the back, who's really switched on, and she was listening to everything we were saying, and she was chipping in as well. So it was brilliant, really good.
Hmm. Yeah, I try to post most of my stuff on the Patreon. There are a few things that I post only on Patreon, but if I post on Patreon, they'll get a early preview, but then I try to
Mm,
keep it free. So that
yeah,
if it just in case something happens to this platform, that people can go over there and see what's going on and
yeah.
keep up with, everything that's, transpiring, around us. It's just absolutely amazing. And I was telling you, I'm doing an experiment, and I got the idea from another lady. And I I'm not happy so far with the results, but we'll see how I test everything. It's just, I will test things over and over and over to see what kind of results I get. And sometimes you like the results and sometimes you don't. I mean, that's just kind of how it works, right?
Mm,
We're not going to like
it's
everything all the time, but we love everybody, but we don't always like the findings that we find all the time.
no. With me, it's just like I love all people, I love the souls, but I don't like the programming. Some of them have got a programming I don't like, so it's just like, well, come back when you're playing a nicer program. Just switch the channel, I'll talk to you. It's just like it's like putting headphones on when the TV's on and you listen to your music. When they've finished with the war and the rubbish and what I don't like, then I'll listen to them, but I won't listen to them until they're talking on my level.
No, man, this my tablet's not keeping up. I am so sorry, guys.
Yeah, can I say hello to everybody in the...
Yes,
Sorry, I've got my
please.
tablet
Well,
next to me as well.
because
So,
I'm
hi, I'll go from the bottom. Hi, Chana.
trying
Hi,
to get this
Crazy
going.
World of Helen. Yellow Sun. Kate. Who else is in there? And everybody else coming in later.
Okay, let's see if I can get her going now. Let's get her going so I can see what's
We've got a
going
lot.
on. There we
Say hello
go. Woo
to
woo.
Ra.
I got it. I got it. When I do this, I have to. Oh wow! Look at
This is well,
that.
this is Ra. Hello, Ra. He's been charged
I was
next
gonna
to
just
the
ask you
Mitchell
if you charged
Hedges
him.
skull. Next to the Mitchell Hedges skull for 2 weeks back in the early 90s before Anna Mitchell Hedges passed over. My friend JP, who I did the interview with about this, about the crystal skull, took this little crystal skull and put it next to the other crystal skull and they talked to each other for 2 weeks. And he's guardian of it, but obviously to do my job I needed him this week. So he's been with me.
And you charge him, correct?
I charged him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been charged with the Mitchell Hedges skull. He's been charged with McGee's pyramid crystals, and I just get the downloads from both. So it's very high energy, that is.
Bella Lacron says that looks just like hers. She has
Well,
one too.
everybody get your crystals out because all your crystals in your computer send messages to each other. So let's see if we can get some
So
mess codes from him. Where's
I
my
watched
camera?
something very interesting. This guy has this amazing filter that he puts on his camera where he can actually photograph or film energy waves.
Mm,
And he went and there was a group of people and it was a large stone, and of course, stones hold a charge and then can be
mm,
recharged, and there was probably about 30 people around this stone, and they were all touching it and they were all charging this stone. Now he was a distance back and he was watching this, and he's like, well, with his naked eye he didn't see much going on, but they were sending the energy out to heal a friend. It was a directed energy shot, right?
mm-hmm.
Well, on the film, when he was filming it, it showed all the different colors. It showed it all go into the rock and then went bam out. I was like, how amazing is that? He's also able to see like portals and vortexes. He can see the colors, the rainbow colors around people through this certain filter through his camera. It was pretty amazing. And
I see that with my naked eye.
yeah,
So
well,
it's
we're
really
coming into
funny.
seeing that with our naked eye, but not like this. I don't. I mean, we wouldn't. If we saw like this, I think we would probably fall down, because because of the colors are like the grass would be like swirling. You would feel unbalanced, off kilter. But to look at it through the film, it was absolutely gorgeous to see the different energy waves and also the different vortexes. When people, hey guys, I also wanted to announce this. When you send comments and there's a link attached to them, they go someplace different that I don't check very often, or I don't look in there very often. And then if there's a link involved, it'll take time before I could watch the link before I'll release it out onto the channel into the wild to make sure it's not something really offbeat. So if there's a link involved and you're not seeing your comment show up, that's why I haven't got around to it. And this is where I actually, I'm almost through that one. And that was somebody shared that through a comment. Stunning. And I'm just about to release that one so everybody else can enjoy it too. It's just so amazing when you see things for, what we're starting to peek behind the veil and it's becoming into our natural life. that this camera was picking up, but it was so vivid and so clear and so swirly, so rainbowy. But that one, when they were doing that pointed, it was like somebody was hurt or injured or something was surgery or something was going on. These light workers got together, went around, they used this stone as a conduit. They channeled their energy into it and shot it out. And it was all caught on camera. It was absolutely stunning. Never seen anything quite like that where, and so powerful as a group of 30 people putting their hands on a rock and then to actually see it manifest. Beautiful.
What I do is a trick. It's not a trick really, but what I do is like you've got your energy field, and if you've got a camera, at least for the 24 hours, get your camera and sleep with it next to you so it's in your energy field, and you charge your camera. So your camera is used to your high vibration. So then when you use it, whatever you're seeing in your vibration, your reality, you can film. So people next to you outside of it won't be able to see it, but your camera will pick it up.
And then they'll be able to see it through the filming.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what happened with my son when I was sitting here and the light from my eyes, like that was coming in the top of my head, my eyes and my heart. And he actually was able to take a picture of it and kind of freaked me out a little bit, because the light wasn't behaving properly. It wasn't on the right side of the shelves. I mean, the light was on this side of the shelves where it should have been shadowing on this side. So that was in the intro. That's an actual photograph that my son looked at me, took a glance, saw it with his naked eye, snapped a picture real quick, and then boom, there it was. And
there's a video I've just posted on my YouTube, which I made to the patrons with the Ra working in Christchurch. I'm charging on an ancient burial mound, and it's lined up to the ley lines in Salisbury, so I'm just reconnecting that and clearing it. And then when I've finished, I turn it towards the sun, and you can see the sunbeam coming down, and then you see all the birds start flying around the sunbeam. But then when I move the camera, the sunbeam moves, but then so do the birds. They move to the line. You can see them. They almost do a spiral up it. It's quite fascinating. It's like, oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Well, they could see the invisible line.
We think of it as like grounding, but what if we're actually charging? Yeah. When you're touching things, trees and rocks, and or even like I love to swim. I'm charging my water because I love my water.
The thing to do is that if you've got a garden, you've got your grid, and you put your crystals in, your DNA it doesn't corrupt. Your DNA will never corrupt. So if you're already switched on and you're awake, it's like, you've got an iPad and you've got a thumbprint to turn on your iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you lick your thumb and you put it on a rock, you put it on a tree. The tree then absorbs your DNA, remembers all your codes, and the tree then will respond to you. The rock will then respond to you. It's like you're given that's your access code. There's my thumbprint, there's my DNA, and then it goes into the data bank and the Akashic record. And it goes, oh yeah, I remember you. I know who you are.
Nice. And how our hair falls out here and our hair falls out there. We're leaving our DNA everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And our skin is always, I know it's like gross. It flakes off, all the time wherever you go. But
it's like undercover light work. I'm just doing my hair. I'm just picking my nails. I'm just fighting my finger. And you have to be undercover. I mean, we call them muggles, but the muggles. What's she doing? You can't go around doing actual proper chi light work. You have to do it sort of undercover with your hands in your pockets, so they can't see what you're doing with your fingers. And I'm just fighting my finger, and I just happen to touch a tree as I go past, or my hair's falling out and all these hairs are scattering everywhere.
I mean, there's something to that. I mean, and the more alert and awake and that we are to who we are and what we're able to do, that we're leaving those kind of codes and other people or other things and rocks,
I mean, how many of you
go
on holiday or go to a new town, or you're going out in public and you just have to go to the loo, and it's more than you need to go to the loo, and it's just like everywhere you go, I've just got to go to the loo. You're just dropping your DNA in the water system.
Yes.
But when
Yes.
I'm doing activations, I'm doing grid work, I have to go to the loo so much. I've not even drank that much water.
We used to tease my son when he was little. Anytime we went any new restaurant anywhere, we thought he wanted to see what the bathrooms looked like. Like he was, figuring out, is this a good bathroom? Is this a bad bathroom? Because any place we went to, no matter, he always had to discover the bathroom, even if he just went to the bathroom. So there's something to that because he also suffers with anxiety and stuff. Like he's picking up stuff from other people and he just doesn't know quite what to do with it. And the younger generation, I think you're right that they have this natural built in ability that it's just second nature to them. They're just doing. Instead of
Mm,
us having to learn it and do it, they're just doing it by their nature. So, if anything, you would need to learn how to calm that anxiety down. A lot of
mm.
people need to learn to calm that anxiety down. But I never thought about that, because he did do that everywhere we went. Everywhere. No matter where we went, he had to find the bathroom immediately. Even if we left one place, went into another place, and he just went, he's got to find another bathroom. That's my son.
My mum's terrible. Every time she goes to anybody's house, she has to go to the loo before she leaves. It's like, are you marking your territory, mum?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes. Are you
I
wanting to
had
share your book? Is that what you have in your hand?
no, no, no. This is just so I can
Oh,
keep up with
gotcha.
the chat.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm not writing a book. I've got to wait for a few people to cross over before I'm allowed to do that. Too many famous people I'd have to out.
No, your book, your gift.
Oh, my gift. Oh, no, there's a story to this.
Yes,
I'll have to go into my
share.
story. So, 9 years ago, I was out with a friend called, his nickname's Jesus John, but he just looked like Jesus. He used to be a model. And we went to Exeter to a craft fair and we'd gone camping. We checked everything in the back of the van and we obviously we're queuing up. I don't do tickets. People just come out and give me tickets. So we were going in the queue and somebody just came out and said, do you want these tickets? So I said, yeah. So we went into the craft fair and he said, where should we camp for the night? And I said, give me your map. And I just closed my eyes and I just put my finger down and it landed on a place called Beer. And he said, oh, let's go for a beer in Beer. So we ended up finding this place in Beer and the people were absolutely lovely. And the next day we went into the local bar for a meal. And I was just guided to go to the loo. And then this little old man came out looking like Merlin. And I went back out and said, John, there's a guy over there and he looks like Merlin. So we both went round to have a look and he's in this little nook and cranny with all these books with a glass of red wine and he's writing. And I went over and I had to introduce myself and he said, hi, my name's Michael and I'm the channeler for Archangel Michael. And I went, oh, right. And he said, you've come for your book, haven't you? And I went, well, yeah, I suppose. So he said, it's that one up there. So he pointed to this book and I pulled it down and it was called The Children of the Sun. And it just flipped out. He'd marked all the pages for everybody who goes to see him. There's books. And I just looked through it and it was just about my next 9-year mission to activate the planet and find the rest of the ground crew and connect everything. So I gave it him back and he gave me a book. He had a lot of money back in the day and he's a professional musician and he's been to the Royal Academy. He's very well known. But he inherited a lot of money. And with that money, he bought his little house and he had all his poetry and all his channeled messages put into handmade paper, into hand-bound books and hand-printed books. And he gave them as gifts to people, the right people. And he gave me this purple-bound velvet book called The Trail of the Grail. Well, it was all hand embossed in gold. And he said, this isn't for you. Somebody will come for this. And I went, oh, okay. Anyways, I went home and about 3 months later I was out and I met a light worker. And I was teaching light workers at the time. I had a big group of light workers and he introduced himself. He said he used to be a dark worker, but he got a dream and he got told to come and find me because he wanted to come back to our side. Now he'd got all the information and his name was Arthur and he was told to come and get a book from me. And it's just like, well, it's obviously your book then, the Grail book, because his name was Arthur. It was so I gave him that, and I went back the year later with my children and all my friends, and my friends said, "Oh my God, he's so." You feel like you're in the presence of an angelic. The energy is very childlike and very. I can't describe it, but people who touch him get blue light into them, and he's a beautiful soul. And I said, "What's my message? I've given you a book." He just said, "Spend your time listening." So I was okay. I talk a lot, as you wouldn't believe. I do talk a lot. And he said, "Well, listen." So I spent time listening, and I learned a lot listening, and I did my mission, and I found my crew, and found all you. But the way it works when I'm doing my grid work, I get my downloads, but I don't know where I'm going. I wait to meet the person that says, "Do you want to come here or do you want to go there?" And I know that they're being guided to take me somewhere. So on Sunday, little Kimmy, who's the little rainbow child, wanted to go to Charmouth to dig up fossils. I thought, okay, I've been there. I got a big fossil thing and from a long time ago, and I made it into a wand. I wrapped a hand and put it in the hilt of a wand. So we went back there, and we ended up in Beer. And it wasn't my lead-in, it was my driver, my guardian, who took me to Beer. So I said I didn't think he'd be still alive because it was 9 years ago and he was old then. And he sat in he'd just come in for his lunch as we turned up. And I went over and said, "Hi, Michael, do you remember me?" He said, "Yes, I do." He said, "Go and get your book." And out of a library of books, he's got a stack of books like this. And only one that he's written, he's given them all away. And all the rest are just books he's bought that he's marked pages for people. So I picked 3 books. One was the Order of the Cross pamphlet for me of what all their organisations, because I wanted the picture with the rainbow heart on the front. The second one was John Le Carre, Atlantis Found, and he marked a page in that for me. And the third one was this book called Sunshine Time, and I knew he'd handwritten it because I recognised the velvet cover. But it's the biggest book I've ever seen of his, and I think it's the only one he's ever done this big. So I opened it, at the page it was marked, I took a photograph and I put it back, and then I went and gifted him 3 crystals, which were one of these, a pink one, Kimmy picked these out, a little rainbow, a blue one and a purple one. And I said, "These are our new higher chakra colours." Sorry, I don't know if you can see. And I gave them him. He put them in a triangle and he almost jumped up and down like a little child. And I said, "Thank you for your service. It's been noted. I've completed my mission. I've put the crystals everywhere I was guided to." And he just hugged me and he was crying almost. Tears were almost out of his eyes. And I said, "These are for you." He said, "Did you get your book?" I said, "I took a photograph." I said, "But it might be for somebody else, so I've put it back." So we went and I had our meal. And just near the end as we were coming, he came running over and he with the book and he said, "This is your book, Annette. This is your book. Let me sign it." And he signed it Liahra. And oh my God, this book, I'm going to be guided to give pages out of this book because it's obviously channeled from Archangel Michael. And that night I had it next to me in my bedroom. For 2 nights I dreamt with Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel. And I've only ever dreamt with Gabriel before. So, and oh my God, I've put a few posts, the first few pages into my group. So if you contact me or message me and you're not in my group, message me because I only add certain people into my group. But
do you have the book close to you?
I have. It's underneath my computer, protecting my computer. So I shall open a page.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say that.
I don't know if I can't read the comments, but I'm not a religious person, but I do believe in archangels.
They can see that good. Because I can see it good. I know they can see it good.
This is velvet, so it's tactile. And
beautiful.
There's the back. It's the gold in it is actually gold leaf. And I don't know if anybody knows anything about the Order of the Cross, and it smells old, this book. So that was in it as well, a velvet. I don't know which camera's been reversed here.
Yeah, if there's borders and stuff around in the book, she will show them because they are absolutely gorgeous. But Wait till
Yeah.
you hear. Usually, she'll be led to a page to read that kind of will
Yeah.
apply to what's
Well,
going on.
I don't know if anybody can see this, but when I touch the book, my energy shoots up 100-fold, and all my hairs on my arms go up, and just by holding the book,
Wow, it's intense.
and I can smell the incense on it and the oldness. So I've already marked a page, and the Order of the Cross isn't a religious thing. I don't know whether everybody can see. Tell me when, if you
Well,
want to take a
oh, that's
snapshot.
good. Okay. You're going to read it out loud, but yeah, we can see
I'm
the
going to
border and
read it,
stuff.
but this is the Order of the Cross, and the Order of the Cross is ancient. It's older than Jesus. It's older than Atlantis. It's the old order. But the cross isn't the cross, what you think is the cross. It's the cross in the universe, the crossing. Okay, these are all around the border of it, and these are the virtues of light workers. Okay, self-denial, self-sacrifice, self-abandonment, pity, compassion, love, redemption, regeneration, illumination, purity, devotion, and service. And they're the values that we all should hold in our hearts as light workers. So the Order of the Cross, spiritual aims and ideals. The order is an informal brotherhood, sisterhood, and fellowship, having for its service in life the cultivation of spirit of love towards all souls, helping the weak and defending the defenceless and the oppressed, abstaining from hurting the creatures. Now, the next bit, if you still eat meat, but this is obviously written by Michael, and he doesn't, so obviously, abstaining from hurting the creatures, eschewing bloodshed and flesh eating, and living upon the pure foods abundantly provided by nature, walking in the mystic way of life, whose path leads to the realization of the Christhood of the Christos, and sending forth the mystic teachings unto all who may be able to receive them. Those sacred interpretations of the soul, the Christhood of the Christos, and the divine love and wisdom for which the Order of the Cross stands. And that's on page 17, because it's numerals. I had to read that in numerals. So, should I read
Beautiful.
page 1? Does everybody want me to read page 1 of this, the introduction?
Are you guys enjoying the read?
So you might get downloaded, but I can feel Michael with me right now, so...
I can feel energy.
Okay.
I just feel the tingly tinglies.
It's coming through. So, as the manuscript of this book is going to press, the piece of which we would all... I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic, so I'm trying to channel as best I can. Of which would all... Hold on. The piece of which we would all be living embodiments is being challenged. As I write, the storm clouds of war gather. And this was 1998, I believe. What is our response? Question mark. We stand for pacifism. Pacifism which blesses all and hates none. We must live this. Come to see that peace will eventually permeate all things, from the highest heavens and the profound depths of our own being, through every court of the temple, mind, heart, soul, out to our physical body, our home, our work, everywhere. The living atmosphere of it shall permeate all things. And if anyone should doubt this, let them pause to ask, how could one conceive of a creator who could for one moment contemplate a universe in which strife had an integral part? The very thought of this is utterly impossible. As I have written elsewhere, this earth long, long ago had a tumble and a fall. We are now having to pick up the bits and put things back together again. I know this is a very simple, homely way of expressing the tragedy. Elsewhere it has been explained more fully, yet don't we all at times yearn for simplicity? God sources his hand on my arm, his angel by my side to see me onward. Now in this moment to help me be the ray of peace for which he sent me into this world. Sent you, sent everyone. To be full peace and share it, that is surely the great call for this day and hour. for the souls of men, women, and children everywhere to stand up and say to the satanic influences, no. Submit to the call to peace or depart. You have no place here on this noble, once beautiful planet Earth. Her heavens are now paradise. Out from them have fled all the demons once there. On the outer planes they now storm. And the archangel stands at the gateway of the year, proclaiming the age that dawns, and the age is the age of peace. Foretold now, at hand, let us be its rays, living embodiments of all potent and all-conquering atmospheres. May each one of us be willing to be wholly conquered by the great love that has just become again her servant in the homestead of her love. Thou art thou the great artificer, sorry, I can't read that, of the universe, a tiny flower, accept thy child. And the next bit is called the triumph of divine love, but I think we will leave that for another time. But
yeah, because I'm already
it's
about
too
to
much
cry.
energy. I was almost
Yeah,
crying.
yeah, so
Sorry.
was I. It's like, I wonder if they could tell I'm about to cry.
Yes, but that is what we're going through. Obviously, he wrote this in, and this is the first edition. Let me find the year he wrote this book. Copyright of the author, summer 1994, first edition. I can give you a list of books if you want to. I don't think you'll ever find this one online, but he's got a few books that you can look up. The Mystery of the Light Within Us, The Loga of Sayings of the Master, The Herald of the Cross, Life's Mysteries Unveiled, Ezekiel and Cosmic Drama, the Festival of the Mass of Something, The Second Coming of Christ, The Divine Renaissance, and the Greater Works of Elise Mary Gordon. In this book, this is what we're all going to be looking forward to. So every time we come on, I'll probably read a little bit. Okay, the first one's all about thus doth thy child pray. So it's all about the inner child, the welcome, the introduction, the triumph of the divine love, the proem, not poem, the proem, the meditation on nature, why am I me, why is sadness, path, remembrance, on compassion, the golden age, the way, on life, angel, eloquence, spring glow, sweet chariot, gratitude, Jordan stream, the mystery of the pyramid shining in the desert, on music, the stilling of the storm, the bridge, oriental mysticism, Brahm, healing through prayer, the golden candlestick, our sevenfold life, the pleroma of the Elohim, cherry blossom, the temple of the sun, the children of the sun, living altars, the atmosphere of the divine grace, the realm of the shining, the prologue, the great shepherd, source obviously coming back, humble seraph, the smile, the divine goodness, Jacob's ladder, the sublime mystery, dear shepherd, the mystery of the the perfume of peace, the avenues for peace, and the kingdom of our moon, and the epilogue. And that's what's in this book. I can't read anymore, I'm sorry, because my energy is just going to, I'm going to fly out the window.
What his pen name is.
His pen name is Michael Walton.
There you go.
So I don't know.
You're right. I mean, you got. I'm just, and it's not a bad cry. It's a good cry. It's like my heart is just so warm right now, and yeah, his name
is Michael John Walton, but you can find them on. I've got a link. I can send you the link later, but I've got a link for it. But I think you only can find the Path to Peace on the internet. But if you can find one, they're usually all signed because he signs them all that he's given away, and you only can get them from him.
Nice.
And obviously people have got them from him and decided to sell them on eBay. I shall never sell that one.
No.
Ever.
I can imagine. I would treasure it. I unless I guess somebody that maybe got it in an inheritance or something, and doesn't have the attachment. I guess because I couldn't imagine
or somebody's
something
crossed
like
over
that
and been gifted it, and the children have found it and don't know what it is.
That's what I just said. Yeah, it got in an inheritance, so they don't understand they just don't understand what they actually have there. Could be the only reason I could see somebody selling one on eBay. Oh, there's a beautiful page. Can
So
you show them that page? The
yeah, this has got. He's put a feather in this page, so
Ooh.
he's marked it. So this is page 188 and 189. But the little hand inked, and this is called. Oh, sorry, I'm getting all caught up. I don't. Oh, the smell of this book's lovely.
Oh
But
yeah. The next page
there's a
has
little
the
hand
art around
drawing.
all of the border. Yeah, there you go.
It's
Ooh,
hand drawn.
that we can see
It's hand
really good.
inked. Oh, if you could only smell this book. I shall read the one that he's marked, I think. Where's it
With
gone?
the feather?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's gone. See, it does this. It disappears. It's gone. Where's it gone?
It was the page before that one. Yeah, there.
Okay, this is just a little poem. It's called Dear Shepherd, and as we're light workers, we're shepherding the sleeping masses to wake up. And this is it. To remember thy loving kindness in the dawning hour. Carry the remembrance of it through the twilight. Hold it as the blessing of the night watch floods over us, and hold it ever. That is benison indeed. I don't know what benison means. Maybe someone can Google it. Maybe we found thee in the hour when thou needed us, at the doorway of the world shining. So I don't know what benison means. Benison.
Benison makes me think of Renaissance.
But he's got I saw a lovely picture in here of a cross.
Wow.
Hold on, where we
Wait,
go?
there, that was side. Yeah. There you go.
That's the jester's cross, apparently.
Looks like a jester's hat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So have a little fun with it. Yeah.
It says, here is the lovely painting. You see the jester's emblem. He's enlightened, not enlightened, enlightened one. The real fool, the one who sees within. He sees beyond the mortal shell into the spiral abode of the soul. The form is the form of the cross. The cross is full of motion. It tells us who is the fool. He is within every one of us. Within the cross you see two other crosses. One blue cross and one red, the other red cross. They are suggestive of the swastika, an ancient sun symbol. The Sanskrit word means fortunate, from su equals good, and asti mean being. The meaning behind the symbol relates to the divine principle of man, the curved crosses. So he explains why the Germans changed it, the swastika. Anyway, I'm going to put that under my computer.
Okay,
Let's see what
Tana
you're
looked
saying.
up benison, and it's the rewards of the benison of marriage. Ben Isan, submit, it's so tiny. Noun literally a
I'll spell
blessing, the rewards and benison of marriage.
Sorry, I put venison. It's Ben son. My autocorrect changed it, so it's venison.
She spelled it Benesan?
It's
Or is it
Benison. See, there's
Okay,
a
that's
lot of
how she
old
spelled it
words
the
in
first
there, and
time.
I
Is
don't
it
actually know what they mean, so I have to Google them. Because obviously, being dyslexic, I can read, but I have problems with words.
Dominic says that benison is a blessing. Does that
Oh,
resonate
that's
more?
nice. Yes, that's more
They
like
both
it.
sounded fine. You know, rewards and benison of marriage. Now, you know, the benefits
Yeah.
of marriage. If somebody says you have a, you know, if it's a blessing, then somebody's
Can I
blessing the
just
marriage, I guess. They're
correct
using that term.
Rennie in the thing says he was dark and came to light. And I was talking about somebody I had to give another book to. Michael's never been dark. He's been awake since he was 8. I was talking about Arthur, another a light worker that I had to give a book to that Michael had given me. So just in case everyone got confused with that comment. So
I know we're all teared up. Stop it. Enough.
yeah.
No, more. So we're saying, I mean, even the chat, it's like, enough, no, more. So It's a
It's a
beautiful
special
book.
book. It's a
What?
special book, and it was given for me to give to the world and everybody to understand his words. So, and it's just, oh my God. And I took my sensei with me, my big brother, Kit. He shook his hand and he said he felt electricity coming out of him. He said, and even little Kimmy was quiet. I mean, she's all full of energy. She was like,
And you know
but
how we can
he's
walk up and
lovely.
shock each other and stuff. We're all charged up, and we can shock each other. We always say, "Oh, that's just this static." I really think there's more to all of this than we've ever, allowed ourselves to expand our perception into understanding. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Mm,
Now I sound all sinusy because you had me about to cry, and
I
see.
know. If anybody wants me to do one more, I will.
You guys want one more? Just pick a random page and just follow.
Well, there's another
Yeah.
feather in this book. He's put
Oh
them all
my
over the place.
gosh.
See, the white feathers are purity, so
Mm-hmm.
obviously I've
What
just opened
angel
it for
feathers.
teachings. Little angel feathers. Thank you, Michael. Okay, it's opened on page 102. Healing through prayer. And prayer, meditations is when you listen, and prayer is when you're speaking to the divine, the source. Okay. Oh my God, the little T's on this are all like. I will take photographs of this and put them in the group.
Mm-hmm.
I'll remember the pages. Okay. Is everybody ready? Sit back. It's
Yes.
story time.
Ready, ready, ready.
Okay. The eternal world, the home of the Brahm, the absolute. Brahm spelt Brahm, all capitals. So, of the absolute one. Realm of the origin of all beauty, all love is where from true health, true healing comes. The seat of healing is there because that is where perfect balance is. It operates through all life and all worship. For worship is the motion at the heart of life. It must needs come so right down through all their intermediate kingdoms into the manifest world. Once we have come to know and understand these varieties, we find that it is that they. It's so confusing, these old words. Sorry. It
Yeah.
verifies
Old English.
these varieties. Sorry,
Varieties.
varieties. We find that it is they that give us the desire and motivation to arise again into the divine atmospheres they generate within and around the soul. Atmospheres potent with healing and imbued with total security and utter peace, calm. The divine desire, which true prayer is, acts upon every part of our life, buoying us up, giving strength to the wings of our soul to arise, as the wonderful birds we all are, into the realms of light and healing. It is a natural attitude of the soul to pray. The resultant atmosphere enables us to rise and soar upward, affecting us into divine issues. Everything we touch, do, and are. Desire lifts us up into the realms of the angelic, celestial, and divine. Activities the spiral within us, and whose motion works like a lever, lifting us higher and ever higher. For the higher we rise, the more affectatious is our capacity to deal with things earthly. We become more poised, stronger, and more balanced. We also have access to spiritual healing unguments and the correspondence in the realms of the reality to whose wonderful herbs we use. Our unguments, I'll have to spell that in a minute, are far greater potency than any substances we have here. That is Unguents. I don't know what that word is.
Arguments.
Okay. Pools of pure. This is another one.
Hmm?
Pellucid healing. That's Pellucid. Pellucid
Pellucid.
healing waters of the earth, whether they be highland lochlands, oases of peace in a swift flowing river, or a magical rock pools on a rock bound sea girt shore. hold for the mind a healing stillness, bringing much needed balm to the heart and soul. How infinitely more so those pools of divine wisdom, oh my God, big word, scintillating with all mirrored hues and mirrored liquid living gems, vibrant with heavenly motion, yet ever still, as they lie upon the verdant sward in the eternal world abores of peace, give delectation, tranquility, and healing to our needy soul. The eternal world is the world of balance. That balance built into every one of us by the great love, whose children we are. His love and all healing and all constant blessing of us. His wisdom, her wisdom, all balancing, and her heart. We are held secure to find peace. Silence of the eternity interpreted by love. And that's it. Sorry, there's lots of big words in there. I don't know what pellucid is.
I know why the angel feather is in there. It's a placeholder for you as you're going across. You use it for reading.
Well, that's why you put this in here for me, I think. But
I think that's a little bit. I think that the feathers were perfect for you. I really do.
And there's one with a tissue in here, and that's for me. It's all about music and painting and writing. About what I'm supposed to be doing with all my gifts.
That's absolutely beautiful. Very uplifting. Very heartwarming, and
I've got a picture of him signing the book.
Light language. It's what it was like. Light language. You were speaking in light language, light code, activation, activating. Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. What do you guys think? In the chat, I mean.
Yeah, I'm just reading.
Oh, you're trying to catch up too? Also, the past couple weeks, have you noticed any fluctuations with the energies and going up and down and up and down and up and down? It's like a roller coaster ride.
On Sunday, when I got back from getting the book and completing my activation, we couldn't go back the way we came because the way we came was all closed down by police, and they closed off the whole two carriageway. So we had to go back another way, and I got in, and my head, it wasn't hurting, but I don't know if it was like pulsating. It was like a constant pulsate. I've had to put my hair in just a knot at the back of my head. I can't have my hair up too much because my hair is hurting. My roots, it's like every hair follicle on my body is sensitive. I'm really sensitive to everything at the minute, and it was really pulsating. And then Sophie, my daughter, said she's got a headache and started with a cold. A family member of mine is in hospital because I had brain seizures, and I thought, oh my God. So I looked at the Schumann resonance, and on Sunday it was going through the ceiling, and the seismographs were going off, because I always check what's going on with me before I check what's going on in the outer world, because it was too strong for it to just be what I'd done. And it's just oh my goodness. Yeah, so I got that we'd stepped up another level on the spiral staircase we're going up.
And we're feeling it.
Yeah.
And that, I think that's pretty common with a lot of women, that I, myself included, I can't wear my hair up very long because it gives me a headache. I mean, it just the pulling of it. I don't know how people can, pull their hair up in buns and things like that on a daily basis for like professional type work. It would drive me crazy because the headaches would be horrible. Yeah. Absolutely horrible. I think that's when I would get to the point of just cutting it off and saying, I'll have short hair. I won't have to worry about pulling it up, because, I thought that was a pretty normal thing for all women, but I guess since you're bringing it up, obviously it's not, because you're hypersensitive to it now and feeling the difference. So,
I mean, I was supposed to wash my hair today. After I've done a big activation, I will bathe and cleanse myself and shave all the hairs off my legs, and they're all activated DNA with my codes. They go into the water stream, blessed, normal crystals go in the bath, and I cleanse everything. And I'm not going to be able to wash my hair. My hair's just too... I can't even touch my hair. It's just too sensitive.
Aww.
So I dry shampoo today. And that's why it's up. It looks a mess.
Aww.
But I did get some some stuff. So I got some where Michael sits and does his meditation. It's called Beer in Devon. And if anybody wants to go on Google Earth and to Beer in Devon, there's a little tiny beach cafe and a nice little table there. Michael meditates every day. And if you go to Google Earth, last time I looked, where he meditates, all you can see is a ball of light.
Wow. Wow.
And the beer caves there are ancient, and the Romans started digging out the caves, the cliffs there. To every cathedral in the country has got the archway made out of beer sandstone. So I bought some beer sandstone because it nearly hit me on the head. So I bought 3 lumps of it, and I'm going to send it to Mr. Ryan Drouin to put in his orgonite, because it's special cliffs there. Let's say it goes right back down to the depths of Atlantis there.
This one history. It's echoing. We went this long and there was no echo, and now there's an echo.
Sometimes it's because people are listening. Hi NSA, how you doing?
Because I was going to say, it's not echoing for me. I don't hear it, and we didn't do anything different. We're just still going on.
You can subscribe down here to my Patreon if you want to see what I've posted. I don't mind.
Are you talking to the NSA now?
Yeah, I love them, really. We spy on them.
Hey, you want to talk about the conversation piece you've got on your wrist? It's absolutely beautiful. What's that made out of?
This is my mum's. It's made out of rose quartz.
Beautiful.
From Spain, and I wear it when I go anywhere. And this is one of Crystal Currents, Alexander's. I had it on my wrist and I was doing so much energy work. I went to do some more work and it just exploded off my hand.
Oh.
So I picked them all up, and I found a fishing hook on the beach. I nearly stood on it. So I pulled it, and I had a long fishing wire with a shark weight on it. So that's what's around here. So
you just beat it up and
made it.
Nice.
And I've got my unicorn with a freshwater pearl in there, which is 2 pearls splitting off. It's like 1 pearl, but it's splitting into 2, so it's almost like a pill shape. And it's got black this side and white this side, I think. It's the rest what I'm looking at. So this is for me. So I wear this in activations, and then open it. But I've been making some more. I've only got one, that one. Yours. 4 of these things. You've got one. Paula's got one. Laura's got one, and a guy in Tibet's got one. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 9 of these stones, all different colours: purple, blue, and pink, which we're going to wrap in copper wire, and I'm going to thread onto like this. But see the pinky beads? This one. These have got stars in them. We've ordered some called something like Liahra beads or something like that.
Liahra. Sounds fancy.
And the sparkles. So I'm going to make some 9 necklaces for them, and I'm going to offer them as a donation only to people in my group first, and on my Patreons first. That way, it's an energy exchange rather than me setting a price.
That's nice.
That's what I'm going to do. And I also got gifted this off the beach as well, which I am turning into.
Tell them the story. We've got a few minutes. You want to tell them the story about how you found it? Okay.
Well, when we got to the beach, to Charmouth Beach, there was a black crow and a white seagull, and they jumped off this. They were both sat on it, so I thought, I'll pick that up. And then they landed on another one, which Kit's got to make these ones. But I don't know if you can see, it's got spiral knots in it all the way around. So I'm going to make those holes bigger and put rainbow crystals all the way up it. I'm going to put this in the hilt, which I got from Charmouth, which is rainbow crystallite. And it's, I don't know, I just think it's beautiful. So when it's done, that's going to be going up to auction in the group first. Whoever makes the right bid.
You make it into a magic wand.
Yes, it's going to be all the ones that Kit makes, my big brother, are all magic wands. The real magic wands, not the fake Harry Potter ones.
No, they've got to be real. And you know, it's not the person that picks the wand; it's the wand that picks the person. Remember, that's a Harry Potter line.
This is one that Kit made me to do an activation. It's cherry wood and oak, and I come from Wigan, and our team is the cherries, and I lived at the cherry gardens, and I used to live down here at the oaks. So, and this is all wingmaker markings on it, which is on the Harry Potter's markings as well on his wand. So it's like, they channeled the wingmakers there. I put it on the wands at Harry Potter.
It's pretty interesting that these things that you're talking about that they're in my radar, like wing makers and you know, 5 years ago, like I don't know what you're talking about, you know, but now it's like wing maker. Oh yeah, you know, it's and I'm sure everybody watching knows exactly what the wing makers
the wing makers years ago, I don't know if it is now, but there's a secret site on the wing makers site if you know what to do. If you go into the wing makers site on a laptop,
they have a site. Okay.
They have a website, wingmakers.com, on a laptop, and if you drawn to a certain symbol or a certain picture and you click it, it will take you to a hidden part of the site with hidden teachings and hidden lessons, and it's only when you've got all the hidden lessons that you qualify to Lyricus.
They like your cool leggings.
Thank you, they're pyjamas, they're shells. I've got my C on today.
Well, does anybody have any questions for Liahra before we zip this up?
Join my group.
It's been a week since I've been live. I've been pretty much chilling and learning editing and all that good stuff, and starting to try to tell stories along with, you know, putting some imagery behind it.
Yeah, your dream the other day was amazing. I know you did a video about it.
Yeah. I'm trying, and that is a better way for me to express to what I'm seeing in my dreams, is to do a video with a log of it. Yeah. So
what do you think about the link I sent you of the Eva Cassidy Fields of Gold with the last scene? Oh my God!
That's why I made that announcement at the beginning in the comments. I've gotten almost through one of them on there. I still have yours on Facebook, and I won't say much to you in there because they're the recent conversations, so I don't want them to disappear.
Yeah. Well, if I can just say to everybody, if you're going to watch anything and you've got a codie box or something, watch the Knowing right to the end and realise, like, those children get taken to another planet, they grow up, they have children, and the children go, where are our grandparents? So they've got all this technology now, they've got guardians helping them, and they've still got the wound of losing their parents. Maybe they got time travel stuff, and they go back in time and help their parents so they don't blow up the planet, and then you go and watch the last Mimsy, and that takes it from there.
Okay, Kate Wright said that you mentioned the moon and its positioning being over the place on a post, and you said you'd chat about it. You want to finish off with talking about that real quick?
Yeah, well, where I was the other day, the moon was slightly tilted the wrong way, but when I looked at it after, you can't see it now, but it changed back again, so it depends on where you're waking up.
It smiles again at me. You know, it's used to just do the normal elliptical. Now I get the Cheshire Cat sometimes. Sometimes it's like a halo. I mean, the moon's doing crazy stuff, but I like it. It's crazy good. You know, I mean, it's interesting. Just the different things we're seeing in the skies are interesting.
So I'm just getting
activated.
No, for Patreons, so for your patrons and my patrons, that maybe in a few days we can do just something for Patreon Live, a Google Hangout for all our patrons to come on so we can talk to each other and have a conflab with each other face to face. What does everybody think?
I think we can only have 6 or 7 maximum in the room, so we'll have to see
first
what
come,
we can
first
do.
served.
Oh no, that would be wrong. We'll figure something out. We'll figure out some kind of a platform that we could work that out. I know for sure that what we'll start with is we'll do a link only for them, and then as people come in, we'll see who shows up, and then we can invite them into the hangout with us, and that would
Yeah.
be fair. That, you know what I mean. So everybody can come in and we can get to know each other. Because
I mean,
want to get to
I'll
know
do it
you
just
too.
for the $1 ones. So even if they just, because all the money that we're raising goes into what we're doing, and we give it back to you. Obviously, all these have cost me money, but I'm giving them back to everybody. Everything I do is for everybody else. So the universe rewards us in different ways. It's not in monetary gain.
Well, that's why it's called currency. It's supposed to be moving. It's not supposed to be hoarded. It's supposed to be moving always. So if we keep everything moving, then, you know, I did a stream on money itself. I had, you know, the 1% having over 50%. That will end if we stop allowing that and allow it to flow through and give to each other instead of giving everything to them and allowing them to hoard it. So
I mean, when I've done these necklaces, if you haven't got the money and you've got something that maybe you want to send me, that I could give to somebody else, it's fine. I'm quite happy to do an exchange, jewellery for jewellery or crystal for crystal. I don't mind, whatever. We don't always have to use money.
No, there's all kinds of different kinds of exchanges. Okay, guys, well, we're going to zip it up. Liahra, you stay on just for a second with me. Screen's going to get a little wiggy on you guys just for a second. And then let me see something here. There we go. And we will be out of your way in just one moment.
I'm just going to look through the chat now. I didn't have time to read